Hello everybody. Recently I was given this great fan. It's a Vornado 753 and it was used, but it's a great fan. I appreciate it. It was given to me. But it was dirty inside, so I needed to clean the inside. So in this video I'm going to show you how I did that by removing the grill and show you how to remove the grill on the 753 Vornado. If you have a 753, this video applies to it. It also applies to the 633 and the 533. Now, if you have any other models of Vornado outside of this one, I'll put a link in the video description with a PDF from Vornado that shows how to take apart and clean just about every fan they make. So if it's not a 753, a 633, or a 533, look in the video description, look at the PDF. It has pictures in it. It's pretty nice document on how to clean them, how to take them apart. That's what I used. Also, I will show you quickly how to how to test and replace the only user serviceable part on this fan, which is the fuse, which is in the plug. Okay, so let's get at it. Here are all the tools and supplies I used to perform this service. I've got a damp clean rag, a cheap meter. This is a meter I got at Harbor Freight for free with a coupon. So I'll put a coupon to these. I'll put a link to the coupons in the video description below. It's actually the Harbor Freight coupon database, so it'll be in the video description below. And more than likely, you can get one of these for free on Harbor Freight if you're buying another tool. Otherwise, I'll put a link to it on eBay or Amazon, and they're not free there, but they're under $10 for a meter. Decent little meter, works just fine. 13 millimeter wrench, needle nose pliers, and a 1/8 inch standard precision screwdriver. Use both these tools to remove this little fuse, which is a 3.6 millimeter by 10 millimeter fuse at 2.5 amps, 125 volts. And I do believe that's available from the fan company Vornado. And again, I'll put a link to the PDF where they show you where to order one of these exact fuses for your fan. Otherwise, I'll put a link to them on Amazon and eBay as well, so you can get them there. So all this stuff will be available in the video description below, as well as the PDF showing you how to do this service. Please refer to that and follow those instructions exactly, as I'm going to. But make sure that you follow their instructions and get it right. So first, I'm going to show you how to access the fuse on this. Curiously, it's in the actual plug for the fan, just like a Christmas light set that I've seen that they have the fuse in the plug. So I'm going to open the door with my screwdriver here all the way to the left, like so. Slides out there, you can see it, right? And there's the fuse at the bottom. Now, before we take it out or anything else, I'll show you how to test that with a meter, with my cheap meter. Some meters have continuity testers. This one does not. So what we're going to do with it is take it and put it on the, I don't know, 200K ohm scale. And you'll notice there that it says it has a 1 on it. That means it's open. It's an open circuit. And I'm going to close it. And you can see it goes to 0. So on an open circuit, it'll display the 1. And on a closed circuit, it'll display 0, or very close to 0. So basically all we're testing on that fuse is to see if it's an open or a closed circuit. So if it's open, that means your fuse is broken. If it's closed, the fuse is working just fine. So I'm going to take it, put one lead at the very end of it, and you can just put the other one on the plug itself, and you can see, boom, it's 0. So that's a good fuse. If you got this result, that fuse would be blown. And that is if you got this result with the, with both leads contacting like so. So what it would look like if the fuse was blown is as an open circuit like this. Okay, so we're going to pretend that that's an open circuit. Let me zoom in on it. There we go. And now what we're going to do is take off the plug, and all I'm going to do is use my screwdriver to wedge that out of there, like so. Be real careful. This is a ceramic fuse. I don't want to break it because it's still a good fuse. So I lift it up like that. Then I'll take my needle nose, pull it out. There's the fuse. And that's basically the procedure. Put it back in is drop it back into bay. Make sure it's between the two clips. and then just push it down into the clips. I'll use my needle nose for that, the 2 tips on that. There we go, just like so. Test it once again if you wish to see if you've got it correctly put in. So again, 200K on the ohms on that meter, and put your test lead on one side of the fuse, and the other would be the plug. And you see 0, 0, so that's a good fuse. We got a good connection. You can do that inside the fuse too if you want to just test the fuse alone. Okay, so it's up to you, but that's how you test and replace the fuse on this fan. After you're done, of course, just close the door like so. And the specifications on that fuse are 2.5 amp max at 125 volts. And I'll put a link to that in the video description below for you guys. It's in the PDF manual for the fan as well. And I do believe you can buy them from the Vornado company as well. I've got the Vornado base the way it should be if it's sitting on the floor. Basically, I got it positioned correctly. You see a little screw here on the Vornado base. I'm going to zoom in on that here. Okay, so you see a little screw there. And what we're going to do is count slots from this screw. So we'll start on the next slot after the screw. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And on the 4th one, you'll see a little hole. Hopefully you can zoom that in and you can see it. And that has the first screw we're going to remove. And what we're going to do here is just take off the face of the fan so we can get inside and clean everything like the blades and everything else. So I'm using my 6-inch Phillips number 2 and unscrewing it there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but basically that's where the first one is. So from the screw, 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th slot you'll see an open hole there with the screw. So counterclockwise to release the screw. Now it's released. We're going to move on to the next one, and we're going to just turn the fan. I'm going to turn it so you can see where the next one is. And it's basically at the bottom of the base. So I'll zoom out so you can see where I'm at positionally here. All right, so there we go. There's the bottom of the base, and basically in the center slot you'll see another hole right there. See it? And we're going to take that second screw out with my Phillips 6-inch number 2. And we don't need to remove the screws all the way out. Just loosen them all the way out and leave them in the hole. That's fine. So there's that one. That's number 2. Number 3 will be basically exactly in the same spot as the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4 slots, and you'll see the hole from the screw on the swivel base. So let me zoom in on that. There it is. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And just loosen that. Once it's loose, you'll see a bunch of clips all the way around the fan shroud or the front, and they're basically, well, they're at, I don't know, that 12 o'clock would be up here, so 10 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and maybe 2 o'clock, all the way around the fan. There's some clips, so I'll point them out here. One here, and one here, and here. Okay, so there's 4 in total. All you got to do is push them in towards the center of the fan, and then the shroud will actually let go. Mine, I don't know. They don't seem to be doing much for me. The actual fan at this point can actually be, the center housing can be lifted off there without even bothering with those clips. Yours may be different. You may have to push the clips towards the center of the fan, but mine I don't. I just have to lift it up and off. And once I do that, boom, there goes the shroud. The front shroud is gone off that fan, and you can see here. Okay, so I've taken that off. Now I'm going to flip it over. Now understand, when you flip it over, those 3 screws that were in the housing will fall out, so be careful with that. Let's do that. And there goes the 3 screws. And you can see probably more clearly now where the clips go here. These are the clips. There's 2 here. There's another 2 there. And they also help in aligning the face when you put it back on. As the clips, the face has uses guides on those clips to get it on there correctly. So you can see them here, here, here. Well, I actually can't see that one, but they're on there. You'll see them, and they're pretty clear. And also, of course, there's the Vornado emblem there, which will help you by put that horizontally. You'll get it right anyways. But I'll show you putting that back on when I'm done. So here we got the fan. Once you got the face off the fan, now I don't know, but this should be done with the fan unplugged. Right? So always work on it unplugged. So here at this point, you could just use your damp rag, and wipe it all off on the inside, no problem at all. And if you want to go one step further, I'll show you how to remove the fan blade so that you can get everything cleaned really well. So let's do that next. Now, taking the fan blade off is counterintuitive because this is a reverse thread bolt or nut, sorry, on this unit. Let me zoom in. There's the nut. I'm going to use a 13 millimeter wrench on this, and basically what reverse threaded means is that it's opposite to the rule, which is lefty loosey, righty tighty, or counterclockwise to loosen, clockwise to tighten. In this case, we go clockwise to loosen. So we'll just go clockwise like this. There we go. That loosens the nut. There's a lock washer, and then there's just a normal washer after that. Once you take that off, the fan blade just lifts off, and now you've got access to everything, including both sides of the fan blade without any issue at all. You can now clean both sides of the fan blade. I'm going to give that a little cleaning. You see there's a bit of dust on mine, right? So I'll wipe that off and clean that up. Now you've got access to the motor. The motor has, the shaft has another washer on it. Just leave that there. As long as you don't turn it upside down, you should be fine. If you want to turn it upside down, take the washer off so you don't lose it. And then there's a C-clip on the bottom you don't have to worry about. At this point, you got access to all of it. Give it a good wipe down and with a damp rag, and then put it back together again. So I'm going to do that, then I'll show you how to put it back together. I've got it all cleaned up with my damp rag, including the fan blade. I've got that all mopped up too, both sides looking really nice and clean. There is a correct way of putting this fan back in. This would be the incorrect way. Basically how you can tell is that white shroud there. It should be facing you. So basically the white shroud, this white piece towards you, this back piece goes towards the fan. And now the shaft is keyed. I'll zoom in on that. There you can see that it has a key on it right there. It's cut. And that fits into the blade like so. So we're going to put the blade back in. You see that the blade also has that key on it. So we're going to mate those two things together. So don't jam it in there. It should just pop in just like that. Okay, there we go. Make sure it's seated all the way down to the bottom. And it is. Next to it, we're going to put the retaining washer here. This number 1. Then the lock washer on top of that. Then the 13 millimeter nut. And remember, this actually threads in the opposite direction that you expect. So you're going to have to go counterclockwise to tighten. So we'll hold the fan blade with one hand and then turn that counterclockwise till it's snug. And then we're going to take our 13 millimeter and continue going counterclockwise. Remember, you're tightening plastic here. It's not a lug nut on your car. So just snug will do just fine. That's it. It's locked down. At this point, the entire inside of the fan casing is actually now, well, the fan housing is now nice and clean. I've actually wiped it all down with a damp rag or damp cloth. Make sure that the fan rotates nicely like so. Next, we're going to put the the top case or the front cover back on. Again, one of the things to check for is these little slots here. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, there's a slot. These little slots here, 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 and up here. Though you can't see that far. There it is, right there. Have to mate with these. These little slots here on the shroud. You'll see them all the way around. So they're the guide to get that right, basically. So let's just do that. You know, you can go with the nameplate there, that it's facing the right way. Then find out where those slots are and drop it in. And once you do, it'll lock. It won't go anywhere. If you don't have them in the slots, when you do that, then you can move it. See, so I guess move it till you got it in the slots and it's horizontally correct with the name tag there. At this point, we're going to flip it over and put the screws back in. All right, we'll do the first locking screw. Once you've made sure your tabs are correctly aligned, everything's good, then you just drop the screw into a little hole. I'll use the screwdriver to guide it in there. There we go. And I always like to go counterclockwise a little bit till I hear it make a little noise, and then clockwise to tighten the screw in there. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 slots in the hole you'll see. Again, we're tightening into plastic. You don't have to go super tight, just snuggle dude. There we go. I'm going to turn this to the basic 6 o'clock vein, and you'll see another hole right there. And we're going to put the screw in there again. Tighten it up clockwise on these to tighten. And careful. I mean, if you drop it, it'll just go through the housing to the other side, but you don't want to. Well, of course, I say it and I do it. Okay, so get that screw out of there. There we go. All right. Don't do that. There's the screw at the 6 o'clock position, the hole anyway. We're going to, unfortunately, I have a tripod I'm dealing with. You don't need to deal with that. It'll just go right in for you. There we go. There we go. I got it in the 6 o'clock position there. Okay, you hear that? Go clockwise till it's snug. Boom. And on the other side, we're going to do the same thing again. Same position again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's the screw. We're going to go and put that in there. Tighten it down. Like so. There we go. Now just plug it in and test it out. It should be just fine. And make sure that you've got everything cool on the front. And I'll flip it over so you can see what it looks like. There we go. Perfect. Aligned with the base. No dust in it. We're ready to go. That's it for my video on cleaning and troubleshooting the Vornado 753. Understand that I read the manual, and it says in the manual that if the fuse does not repair a no function, in other words, it doesn't turn on situation with this fan, they basically say discard the fan, get rid of it, buy another one. Now this is the 753. This video specifically applies to the 753, the 633, and the 533. They all dismantle the same way according to the manual. Again, I'll put links to that in the video description below for everybody, including the PDF manual for all of those fans, plus the rest of the Vornado fans to show you how to take apart and clean them all and service them all down there in the video description. I will also put links to all the tools and supplies that I used in this video in the video description as well, so you can easily get those at eBay or Amazon, at your convenience. Okay, that's it for my video. If you liked this video and it helped you out in some way, do me a big favor and click on the like button at the bottom right hand corner. Give me a thumbs up. It helps my video, helps my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, you'll see over here a picture of me. That is the subscription link. You click on that picture and you'll be subscribed to my channel. As part of the process, you'll see a bell icon. If you click the bell icon, you'll be notified every time that I put up a new video, and then you can watch that at your own leisure. Once again, and like always, I want to thank you all for watching and for your time.